around. Try the outside. No, turn around.
I got wet.
You got wet.
I got wet. I got a good shot though.
You got a shot.
Good morning, everyone! It's been a while, right? And hey, Happy New Year, since we didn't get a chance to tell you on New Year's. So we're here today at Rock State Park in the Falling Brach area. This is an area of Maryland. At this time of year, we're in January now. Opens around 10 a.m. and it rolls through right till sunset. No parking fee right now. If you come during the peak season, there is actually a permit required to park here. And I'm not sure if that's something that they just were enforcing because of COVID. Typically, if you come here during the fall or the winter, no parking fee required, no permit required. You can just roll up. As long as there's parking, you can get in. So this is a nice, easy hike, very family friendly, very dog friendly, very kid friendly. It's about 1.3 miles, and it is how many feet elevation gain?
About 213 feet, so
yeah,
nothing.
You're not going vertical on this one. The trail itself is pretty consistently level. It's pretty consistently clear as well. They get out here every once in a while and sweep it off, pull all the branches out of the way, anything that's fallen down. So this is what it looks like for most of the way. As you get closer to the water, there's actually an area where you're gonna have to cross. So strongly recommend waterproof shoes of some sort.
And it looks like it did rain recently because it's funny, it's like muddy, but it got cold enough last night to freeze in the mud, so it's actually like really hard.
I'm actually a little bit worried about ice because, as you mentioned, a little bit of moisture on the ground goes a long way, especially near the river.
This looks like it should be mud, and I'm walking on top of it, so it is like solid.
Yeah, so when we got engaged here in fall of 2017, we had I had a professional photographer hired that was going to hide on the trail ahead, and it was actually somebody that my brother knew. So we had kind of negotiated through my brother, we coordinated through my brother, and then my brother Nate came out here with him ahead of time to kind of tuck themselves away so that when Katie and I came here, they could be hidden up in the rocks and the cliffs above the waterfall, and they could snap the pictures as things were happening. So what actually happened is that the photographer woke up late. Nate was a little behind schedule. The two of them were only probably maybe 10 minutes ahead of us on this trail. So I was texting frantically to try and give them extra time, figure out where they were and how we could get them ahead. And I had to keep detouring off the trail to stall. I jumped off to the side and I was like, oh, I gotta pee. Left Katie standing there awkwardly wondering, holding a bunch of my camera equipment because I had tricked her.
The excuse was that we were going to get some really nice shots of the waterfall, so I was carrying all this
which
camera
we did
equipment.
anyway. But yeah, it was an elaborate ruse, which probably could have stood to be more elaborate because there were little details like what time should the photographer and my brother be here that kind of slipped through the cracks. So it didn't all go perfectly according to plan, but it was still a wonderful occasion. Everything, we got great photos.
Yeah, you should definitely put some in like right now and show them.
So in addition to being a super easy hike that anyone can pretty much do, this is Maryland's second tallest vertical drop waterfall statewide. It's about 17 feet. You can climb around the side to get to the top. A couple of people are already up there. But there's really no angle from which this doesn't look amazing. You can go right in front, you can go to the side, you can go above. Doesn't matter, it's beautiful. So if you're familiar at all with the history of Falling Brach or Kilgore, or if you're not, we're going to tell you. This waterfall, this area, was actually used to shoot a scene in Tuck Everlasting, which growing up, for me, in my circle, that was like the must-see movie that every girl needed every guy to see. Before we had Nicholas Sparks and The Notebook and all that, we had Tuck Everlasting. And this movie took some footage from this area and used it as kind of their beautiful lagoon waterfall area. So that's a cool piece of cinema history for you. One of the few things shot in Maryland State Park was shot right here. Tuck Everlasting and Kilgore Falls.
I was going to, but then you didn't fall. Fall, fall, fall. I just want them to see how expertly you traverse the terrain.
I can figure this out.
Ta-da!
There are these rock carved steps here. You can kind of get up. It'll be tough to get a dog up this, and maybe a small child, but it's doable. I made it! Because Katie likes to live dangerously. There's a lot of really great hikes in Maryland State. This one is not the most challenging, but it is our favorite. All right, we bid adieu to Kilgore Falls. Until the next time, because there's always a next time. And as we head back, it's about 11:15, 11:30. The trails are becoming more traffic, and this particular trail in and out of Falling Brach is a little bit narrow, so hashtag masks on Maryland. Back in the car, ready to go home. Beautiful hike, beautiful waterfall, reasonably beautiful day. It got a little cloudy and a little bit cold towards the morning, but after we were on the trail, it started warming up quite a bit. And we got a little bit of sun too, which
Definitely.
not even forecasted, so it's a wee bit sunny now. Super easy trail for, again, kids, dogs, families, even the elderly who, I mean, my grandma would, I think, have an easy time hiking this trail. It's not very steep. There's not much elevation gain. The waterfall is definitely worth seeing if you've never seen it before. I know we've been slacking a little bit on the vlogs this year. We've been making conscious choices to lay a little bit lower this January so far, so there hasn't been as much adventuring, which is killing me. We have a personal event coming up, and so we have to kind of bear in mind that we don't want to put anyone at unnecessary risk. Always, when you're adventuring, be mindful of the fact that there are other people that have to be considered, not just the people around you immediately, but also the people you may be seeing in the coming weeks. Believe it or not, although things are slow right now, we do have a ton of stuff already booked for this year. We've got a ton of stuff that we're just waiting for certain things to drop so that we can book them. We have a lot of plans for 2021. We're really, really excited to take you guys on this journey. And it's been a fun journey so far. I mean, 2020 sucked. It really did. 2020 sucked super hard, and yet still we were able to have so much fun throughout. Definitely a lot of fun stuff coming up. We look forward to going on all those adventures with you, and until then, thank you for joining us on our morning hike in this area. We have a couple more things coming up, and then it's going to be back to the good old-fashioned theme park trail. Every
Days
adventure!